Hi everyone, my name is Shravya, and this is my first video here on YouTube. And I'll be talking about my recommendations and my TBR for Women in Translation Month. So, as some of you might know, August is celebrated as Women in Translation Month, and honestly, every month is Women in Translation Month for me because I love translated fiction. But this month, particularly, I wanted to just focus on reading translated fiction by women. I'll first start with recommendations based on what I've read before, and then I'll move on to the TBR that I have created for this coming month. The first book that I would like to recommend is All the Lovers in the Night by Minko Kamakawi. This is a book about loneliness and the fear of intimacy. This book follows Fuyuko, who is a freelance proofreader, and she's in her 30s, and she lives alone. She wants intimacy but is scared of it, and it's a must read for anyone who's trying to explore novels about loneliness, womanhood, and the complexity of finding your place in the world. The prose is really tender and sensitive, and I really like the way Kawakami writes. The journey of the protagonist is not a dramatic one, there's nothing dramatic, and even though the title might suggest that it focuses on romance, it does not. It instead focuses on the fear of intimacy, fear of being alone, loneliness, and how the protagonist navigates through it. I would also like to recommend Kawakami's another book, Breasts and Eggs. Breasts and Eggs follows two women, two sisters, Makiko and Natsuko. Makiko is a single mother who comes to Tokyo with her daughter to undergo a breast enhancement surgery, and Natsuko is her younger sister who wants to become a single mother through a sperm donor. This novel focuses deeply on female body and agency, and it's very political in its approach. It talks about motherhood, it talks about aging, it talks about loneliness and autonomy over one's body. I think it captures the inner lives of two women with a lot of empathy. Both the novels, in fact, Breasts and Eggs and All the Lovers, they both are deeply concerned with women navigating social expectations in the present world, and they also talk about the theme of solitude, loneliness, intimacy. The next book that I want to talk about is Earthling by Sayaka Murata. This follows Natsuki, a young girl who believes that she is an alien, and she finds the societal expectations, the way the society works, very strange, and she copes up with it by imagining that she's an alien from another world where she could return to. This book very insightfully critiques the society by comparing it with factory. The novel is also extremely dark, so a very serious content warning. Please don't pick up the book if you're not ready to deal with the dark themes, because I mean it gets really, really dark. I recommend it because of its brutal and very honest critique of the society and how it's unafraid to touch upon taboo topics. It's a book that really tries to do something out of the ordinary, something that no other book has done. I think, at least I have not read one so far. I know there are a lot of books in the weird fiction category and I would like to pick them up. But yeah, this one was kind of an introduction into that category of books. I would also recommend Convenience Store Woman by the same author, Sayaka Murata. Convenience Store Women is more accessible than Earthlings, I would say. It's easier to read, and if you have to start with this author, then you should start with Convenience Store Woman first. It follows a 36-year-old woman who works at a small convenience store, and she is functional. She works as a functional part of the society, but she doesn't really participate in the social aspects of the world, and that's why she is critiqued by the society because she is not considered normal. And of course, then this goes into the critique of what normal is, what the society considers normal, and how a person is supposed to behave, the expectations placed upon women. Everything comes into play, and this book does a brilliant job of critiquing it. Continuing with the theme of weird women who refuse to follow the societal norms, the next book that I would like to recommend is The Vegetarian by Han Kang. She recently won a Nobel Prize. This book follows a woman who one day suddenly just refuses to eat meat. She stops eating meat. And even though this is a simple decision, it triggers the world around her and it leads to some escalations by her family members, by her husband. Ultimately, it's about control, desire, and the body. So, the protagonist, she wants to live a more harmonious life with the nature. She wants to have a plant like existence. And this kind of doesn't fit in with the society's standard of what is normal. This book is very well written, even though it's very strange, and again, extremely dark themes. So please check the content warning before picking this book up. The novel deals with how women's bodies policed, controlled, and how the society tells women what to do. It's deeply psychological. It explores trauma and repression. It's a must read if you want to read about female rage, madness, and the policing of women's body. The next book that I want to recommend is yet again dealing with a weird woman who refuses to follow rules. I am starting to see a theme here. The book that I'm talking about is Drive Your Plow Over the Bones of the Dead by Olga Tokarczuk. This book is set in a Polish village and it follows Janina, who is an eccentric older woman who loves astrology and kind of sees nature in a very different way, I would say. She likes animals far more than people, and it sort of starts like a murder mystery. Like, some people in the village start turning up dead, and Janina thinks that it's the animal who are taking. At this point, the battery in my mic ran out, which I got to know about later and I corrected for the next part of the video. But at this point, I did not know. I didn't know that this video is also affected, so I continued speaking without any audio being recorded. But basically, what I was trying to say was that this book touches upon very important topics of eco-philosophy, and it's a very good combination of a murder mystery and eco-philosophy and how non-human world matters too. I've realized that all the books that I've recommended are books that deal with weird women doing weird things, but I think that's just the kind of books that I like to read. Let's now move on to my TBR for this month for the Women in Translation. The next book that I want to read is Flights by Olga Tokarczuk. Again, I do not know what this book is about, honestly. I just picked it up because I like this author. I liked Drive Your Plow Over the Bones of the Dead, so I think I might like this one too. The next book that I want to read is a bit intimidating one, honestly. It's Tomb of Sands by Gitanjali Shri. This one won the International Booker Prize in 2022, and this has been sitting on my shelf since then, and it's huge. as you can see. So I've really not, I'm kind of intimidated by it, and hence I haven't picked it up. But I hope I'll finish it this time around. If you've made it this far in the video, thank you for watching. Please subscribe to the channel. Also, you can find me on Instagram at shravya.shruti. I post more regularly there, and I hope I'll be posting more regularly here too. See you around.